Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Today's video is going to be about my worst book of the year. I did a video about my favourite book of the year that I loved so far, and I thought I would do a video about my worst book of the year, a book that I read this year that I really despised, so get ready for a rant. But there's two books in this video because I couldn't choose what I hated more. I just couldn't choose. I hate them both equally, so I'm just going to get straight into it and my reasons why I don't like the books. So this is Just One Day by Gail Forman. It's a very popular YA book. I heard about it on BookTube. It went on to be a popular YA series, and it's about an American girl, and it's the time before she's about to start college. It's like the summer holidays, we call it in the UK, and her parents have paid for her and her friend to travel around Europe, and then she'll go back to America and she'll start college. So they've travelled around Europe, they're having a great time. She meets this Dutch boy and she's talking to him and saying, we couldn't go to Paris. I really wanted to go to Paris, but we couldn't. Which first off, I was like, a bit of a brat that you're complaining that I didn't get to go to Paris and yet you've travelled around the whole of Europe. Anyway, so he says, why don't we go to Paris for just one day? At this point she's in England. This is all plausible because England and France are right next door to each other, and people do go to day trips from England to Paris. So it's very plausible this would happen. What's not plausible is that he's a complete stranger. He is not on the trip with her and her friend. He's just a stranger they've met, and he says, why don't you just come with me? Just the two of them. Sounds like a human trafficking plot to me, but anyway, just the two of them. So she says, yeah, sure. She hops on a train with him, they go to Paris, something happens, and then she goes back to America, he stays with his life, and then it's all about heartbreak. Now, I didn't know this was a series, first off, because I got this book when it first came out and it wasn't a series at that point. So it just come out, the first book. So I got this and I was like, oh, like this is going to be a standalone book, and I thought it was going to be about heartbreak and about how your first love, you know, it's normally not going to work out and it's so heartbreaking and you get so depressed, it's really difficult to deal with. So the majority of this book, the Paris trip, that's happened. She's back in America and she's just kind of grieving for this love that never kind of was, that she wishes it could have been something. She's just kind of really upset about that, and then she goes on a stalker's mission. I hate, my pet hate is when YA uses stalking as romantic. It's not romantic. It's not romantic to track someone down, to track their family members, to track their girlfriend, to try and work out their coordinates on the world. That's just stalking, I'm afraid, my friends. And so I felt that at the end demeaned the whole book. Now, I didn't hate it entirely because I was under the wrong impression that this was going to be about heartbreak. And I was like, oh, it's so good and it's going to be like, you know, your first love, it won't work out, but that's okay. Just move on in life. I didn't realise she was thinking to stalk him down like a wild animal. So that's why I didn't like this, because I felt like the stalking ruined the whole book, and all the charm that the book had was just taken away by the ending. The ending also, don't, Fantasyland, absolutely hated it. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cough there, but the end was just repulsive. Hated it. My next book that I absolutely hated, this is the second book. This is Nick Hornby's Juliet Make It. Nick Hornby, very successful novelist. He wrote about a boy, and About a Boy got turned into a film, and it's one of my all-time favourite films. So I thought I'd pick up a Nick Hornby book. This was also turned into a film. This is about a woman who, get yourself, strap in, get ready for this, because this is just the plot that you're like, what? A woman's boyfriend is obsessed with a rock star. She then starts talking to the rock star. She then breaks up with her boyfriend. She then starts a friendship with this rock star. And you think, oh, it's interesting, how's the friendship going to start? And, you know, is she going to start dating him? What's going to happen with her and him? What are they really going to have in common? Because she's just a normal woman, and this is well-known, like, rock star. Well, sorry about that. Just was coughing on my own hatred for a moment. But the plot sounded quite intriguing to me, a little bit complicated. But the whole book, it's nothing. Nothing happens. The whole book is, they do a fake Wikipedia page for the rock star, copied and pasted in. Emails, copied and pasted in. Text, copied and pasted in. That's the whole book. It's her conversation with this rock star, and then the end was ridiculous. This felt like a movie film script, a very farcical comedy movie film script that wasn't very funny. It didn't feel like a novel to me. And I understand this was turned into a film, but it came out as this first. It came out as a novel first. And I think if Nick Hornby wanted to make a film, you know, About a Boy was fantastic. If he wanted to do another film, then just go straight to the movie house with that film. That's it. There was no reason to waste people's time with this book. It felt like this book had come out after the film. So the film had been made and then this was a book for the fans. That's what it felt like with the whole fake Wikipedia page and everything. It didn't feel like this book stood by itself. Oh god, I'm ranting. But it didn't have any kind of merit by itself. It was just boring. It just, oh don't, I'm gonna have to put it down because I'm just ranting. But it felt like a trivia page for a movie. That was it. It didn't stand by itself. The conversations, they were so lackluster. I also said in my review of it when I was filming a reading vlog, and I said I don't know if Nick Hornby can't write female characters or just hates women. That's what it felt like, because all the women, they were either like good or boring. That was it. Or evil. Good, boring, evil. Good, I'm so nice and sweet. Boring, that was majority of the women, or evil, villainous Disney character evil. It just wasn't very good. That's it. That's the end of the, I'm like choking on my hatred. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me what your worst book of the year was so far, and I'll see you again very soon for another video.